Hi everybody, it's Catherine from In the Pink Designs. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and my project today is a flower seed box. It measures 5 by 4 by 1 1/4. Alrighty, and I used the Easter Friends stamp set for the sentiments here, the Tulips dies for the tulips, and Flowering Fields Designer Series paper for the DSP. Alrighty, now all of the contents, well not all of them, but the majority of the contents I got from Target, Dollar Spot. Some of them were a little more than $1, but I just love them. And I think I'll put this in a basket, like kind of a wicker basket with a little cloth in it for the entire gift. This was $1. It is a Daisy Grow kit. And then look at this cute pot. It says Proud Plant Parent. I love it. And it has the little, this one was only $1. I just can't believe that they had a whole bunch of these. Unfortunately, the one I really wanted was not in, but I got it in a different thing. But it has the little piece that you can pull out if you have them outside and inside. So I got that. And these, I just love these. These are some plant stakes. And the ones, the rectangle ones say, one of them says, life is better with more plants, Proud Plant Parent. And the one I love, please don't die. I love that. And then the round ones say, be kind, wildflower at heart, and hello sunshine. I just thought this was such a cute gift for somebody. I also put some flower seeds and the other seeds that I had, just some vegetables. But these you can get at the Dollar Tree for $1. The ones for the vegetables are a little more expensive, up to $2.50, I think. Yeah, $2.49 for the burpees. But I just loved this. I was planning on doing something, but one of my followers did say something else that I made would be great for seed packets. And this was what I was planning on doing. So I didn't want to put seed packets in that actual project because, although it was the envelope with the tulips on it, seeds would fit nicely in there too if you don't want to make the whole box. I'll fix that bow in a little while. So let's see what we need here. We need a piece of Flirty Flamingo cardstock that is 11 by 7.5. 2 pieces of this pattern of the Flowering Fields that are 4 3/4 by 3 3/4. 2 pieces that are 1 by 3 3/4, and 1 piece that is 1 by 4 3/4. Alrighty. We need 2. I forgot to mention I use the seasonal label dies also. We need 2 of them. 1 from Pool Party and 1 from Flirty Flamingo. And from the tulip dies, I made 2 different flowers here on the bottom. And we need 2 of this piece. And you get a couple of these ones in the die set, so you can cut them at once. And then we need the one that looks like this, and the one that looks like this. And they have the little lines so that you can bend them. Alrighty. And that's what we need. Okay, so let me get my Simply Scored. Okay. All right, and we're going to start on the 11-inch side. Okay, and we're going to score at 4, 5 1/4, 9 1/4, and 10 1/2. Then we're going to turn it to the 1 1/4 side, to the 7 1/2 side, and we're going to score at 1 1/4 and 6 1/4. The measurements will be on my blog that is linked below. Okay, now I'm just going to fold and burnish. Okay, so you use almost the entire sheet of cardstock except for the little 1 inch on the side. Okay, so this is what we're going to do. Okay, the skinniest rectangle is on the left, and you have the two biggest parts, one at the end this side and one next to the skinniest rectangle. Alrighty? Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to turn it this way so that the skinniest rectangle is at the bottom. Okay, and there is at the top a 4-inch rectangle, 4-inch high rectangle up there. Okay, so what we're going to do is skinny rectangles on the bottom, remember. Go to the first score line and cut up to the second score line. Get rid of this bottom rectangle and wedge both sides. Okay, this is our top flap, so we're going to skip these two long rectangles, and we're going to go to the next score line, cut it to the second score line, take the bottom off, and wedge both sides of the square. Okay. Okay. Now we're going to turn it so that the skinny rectangle is on the right-hand side. Okay? You have a long rectangle, a square, a long rectangle, and this tab we already cut. So all we're going to do is cut both sides of the square straight and wedge the sides. Okay, turn it 180 so that the skinny rectangle's on your left now, and do the same thing. Cut both sides of the square to the first score line and then wedge each side. And that's it. Okay, so now we want to bring in your corner rounder and just round both sides of the top flat piece here. Okay, so this is what your cardstock should look like after you've scored it and cut it. All right, now what I want you to do, this is the outside of the box. I want you to put a piece of tear and tape on each one of those tabs that are on this long side, okay? And take the backing off with my Take Your Pick tool. Okay, and what we want to do is attach the tabs to the piece that does not have the flap. Okay. All right, and now I'm going to actually bring in some liquid glue because we're working with two sides at the same time, and I want to make sure that we can get it on there straight. I'm just going to put liquid glue on these rectangles that are on the end, underneath this other flap here. And we're just going to bring it up, make sure that the lines on the inside match up. And then when you close it, make sure the bottom and this part here is nicely even. Okay, set that one and then move to the other one and do the same thing. Okay. Okay, now we're going to put our DSP on. We need the two pieces that are 4 3/4 by 3 3/4, and they're going to go on the front and the back. Okay, and then I'm going to take my small hole punch, and this part here is going to be the back because that's where our flap comes down. So that's where you want to cut a little grip, which is like a half a circle. Any small punch will do. Circle punch. Alrighty, so let's close that. Okay, and now we'll put the rest of our DSP on. Okay, now we're going to put the piece that is 1 by 4 3/4 on the top, and the two that are 3 3/4 by 1 on both sides. Now we'll set that aside to dry. What we need is our pool party label from Seasonal Label Dies, and we're going to use the Happy Easter and May Your Days Blossom with Joy and Happiness, both from Easter Friends stamp set. All right, now I did it so that on this one I did it so that we could, I stamped it first and then cut it out, so let's just see how we do. I'm going to put the Happy up, excuse my head. Oh, and I made a mark. That's all right. I have one, but I have one that I did before. And then the other ones, I got a little bit of I rocked it and got some. And the other piece, I'm going to try to nestle right up next to it. Okay. All right, let's just pretend that's what happened. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue this with just offset a little bit with the Flirty Flamingo peeking out the top. Probably about 1/8 of an inch at the top. Okay, now we'll let that dry and we'll work on our tulips. And we just want to gently blend them in at the spots where there's a line. All right, I should get my mat here. Silicone mat. It's going into the new catalog also, thank goodness. All right, what I'm going to do first is take my Flirty Flamingo ink, and I'm just going to ink the edges a little bit with the sponge. Oops. The sponge is retired, the big ones that I cut, but you can use anything you want, or our nice blending tools that I don't have at this moment. All right, and I'm just going to go on the edges. Well, this back one you actually have to do in front because that's what shows. Okay. I'm just going to go on all the edges with the Flirty Flamingo just to give it a little bit of depth. And then the middle one, you have to do the inside. Okay, and then these two side pieces, tiny pieces that go on the insides. Okay, all right, and then I'm just going to glue these pieces inside of the back. I'm just going to put it where I like it. I'm going to put it so that it sticks up just a little bit. Okay, and then this one, I'm going to let the smallest piece be on the outside. So I'm just going to put a little glue there and a little glue there. A little more. I'm just going to hold that. Okay, let that dry and we'll work on this one. I'm going to glue this right into this piece right here in the middle. And then I'm going to close this side on it. Okay. Now, actually, I did this one wrong. I'm so sorry. If I can get it open. This one is supposed to be larger at the bottom and it sticks up the top, but it looks all right. So don't listen to me. It still looks pretty good this way because you still see the other one in there. All right, sorry about that. Okay, so while those dry, what I'm going to do is pretend we put more of those contents in there, and I'm going to take the metallic mesh ribbon and I'm just going to tie it on the box this way. I'm just going to tie a bow on the top. Okay, and then I'm just going to cut it. Alrighty. And I'm just going to get some dimensionals. I'm going to put one on each side of the label. Okay. And then I'm just going to center this on the box. Okay. Alrighty. And then I'm going to get another dimensional. I'm going to put it on this larger tulip. I'm going to put this so that this piece right here kind of cups around the end of the happiness word. Okay. And then I'm going to glue this bud kind of underneath and to the side, but we don't want, well, I'm going to put a dimensional on the bottom. Let's see, right there. That should hold it. And then I'm just going to stick it right underneath, going the other way, kind of. There we go. All right. Now, I'm going to get some Wink of Stella, and I'm going to make the tulips shiny because they kind of are. They have like that sparkle to them on the petals. Okay, and for the final touch, I'm going to take some Iridescent Rhinestone Basic Jewels, which are carrying over, and so is the tulips too. And I'm going to put one on the tulip. Oops, flipped it over. One on the tulip, one up there, and a larger one over here. And that's it. Thank you so much for watching. I'm sorry that I screwed up the bud, but you really can't tell. If you have any questions, my email is below. If you'd like to join my team, that link is below also. And please subscribe, and if you'd like to be entered into my 3,000th subscriber giveaway, you can leave a comment below. And I will see you next time. Have a great weekend. Bye.